Anything in life is achievable, but you place so much limitations on yourself, and you limit your potential. That's what I'm saying. You be limiting your potential by giving out your energy, the energy that you need, the energy that you were given. Helping other people before you help yourself is stupidity. The world is changing right before our eyes, especially in America. A lot of events, a lot of things are happening, and we're living in one of the more sporadic times. It just don't feel that way until something happens. If something pops off and you're like, okay, there it is. Like COVID, you know what I'm saying? The 2012 thing, Ebola, all that. And then, I know those are all, but it's getting worse, per se. And around this time, you gotta make sure you're not letting that shit affect you. It's there to affect you. And the people that really have the mental resilience and they're actually focused on what they're supposed to be doing, it doesn't affect them the same way. If there's news or there's drama and you put all your energy and effort and attention into that, it's gonna affect you strongly. It's gonna affect your emotions, your emotions. It's gonna affect your mood. It's gonna affect your mental state. So, like a lot of the events and shit, like I know you gotta stay updated with the politics and all that, yeah, yada yada yada. But I mean, stay updated, but don't let it affect you mentally. I mean, once you hear of a certain bill that's passed or anything like that, and you get sad or you get depressed, and now you're in a worse spot because you have invested so much time and attention into something that's detrimental to you. So it is beneficial to know that stuff, but it's not beneficial to let it affect you. So it's a double-edged sword. You gotta know how to know what's going on, but also know how to not give a fuck at the same time. You gotta know how to look for just knowledge purposes, not to affect you, not let it affect you. And we do see that a lot. People are affected by things they shouldn't be affected by. It's like that shit should just they shouldn't face you, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's kind of hard for me to say because I don't even pay attention to it because I know if I do pay attention, I'm gonna be affected. And that's how I set up. You gotta watch the news. You gotta boom, boom, boom. You gotta do all that. You gotta pay attention to certain people, or so they say. And if you do, it's gonna affect you and bring your life down, bring your quality of life down, bring your mental well-being down. So, is it worth it? I don't think it's worth it because I don't pay attention to a lot of shit. I just don't. It don't really. As I see it, it don't help me get to where I want to go. So I don't give a fuck. It's pulling me down. So I don't engage in it at all. I just be like, I'm gonna do whatever I need to do. Focus on what's in front of me. Focus on my future, and that's it. I'm not focused on other people. I don't know who's who. You know what I'm saying? I know myself. That's it. That's all that really matter. You know, on earth to know other people per se. I mean, human connection is a part of why we're here, right? Human connection, communication, all that is important part of who we are as a species. So that's good to know. That's good to have, but it shouldn't be your primary reason for being here. The primary reason for you being here is yourself. It has to be yourself. Because if everyone primary reason is themselves, then nobody has to, how do I explain? If everyone is focused on themselves and everyone does good themselves, then they know that, how do I explain? They know that they can get somewhere, I guess. But, I mean, there's going to be some people that are in certain positions where they're not able to really focus on themselves. And that is where the people that already have got really far and already have did the work and everything try to pull them up with them. But we don't see that. People like to step on people while they down, you know? But if the shoe was on the other foot, yeah, if the shoes flipped, if they were stepping on you, you wouldn't like it. So that don't really make sense. But nobody thinks like that. They think about the position that they're in instead of understanding different perspectives and how other people feel or how they would feel if they were in the same position. Because I'm always the type, I always gotta consider different perspectives because I can understand the big picture. I can understand the whole point of what's going on if I look at it from different perspectives. If you go to a live basketball game, a live boxing match, with live anything, if you sit here, it's different than if you sit here, and if you sit here, it's different than if you sit here, right? So you gotta know how to sit in different places at once. That sounds hard, but that's basically what it is when you understand perspective and how to look at things differently. And you kind of just free up your brain, and you kind of avoid certain conflicts that you usually wouldn't avoid. Say you get in a conflict with somebody, and they say their point, they say some liberal shit, you say some other shit, some conservative shit, and y'all clashing. But a lot of those arguments, people are so defensive and so protective of the viewpoint that they don't understand that the other person has a viewpoint as well. I mean, it's got to work both ways, right? Because if I'm so understanding and I'm so aware of your perspective and you're not aware of mine, then I'm almost aware of yours for no reason. I mean, I'm going to help myself, but it's still going to be hard to talk to you, right? If you all defensive and I'm like open to change, open to really hearing you out, it's kind of, you know what I'm saying, it's not going to benefit you, so they're going to benefit me. Because I'm going to learn more and I'm going to see different perspectives and I'm going to understand why people think the certain way. But you're going to see everything that you already had. You're going to leave the conversation with the same things you brought into the conversation instead of leaving the conversation with more, which I will because I'm understanding of your perspective. That don't mean I got to change mine just because I'm understanding of it. You can understand how somebody thinking or somebody talking or somebody, you can understand why somebody did that, what they did, and not change your perspective. You know, like bro was on his last dollar, he went and robbed the bank. And some people look at him like, oh, he crazy, why he rob a bank, da, 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 da. And then there's some people that say, okay, he ain't got no money, he probably was starving, he probably didn't know what to do. I mean, I'm not patting him on the wrist or nothing. I'm just understanding it. Your action still got consequences, even if you understand it. But understanding is a big part. People don't, but before you understand other people's perspective, you have to understand yourself, right? Everything starts within. That's why I was saying, in the heat of the things, in the overall, you have to know yourself. Because if you don't know yourself, then you shouldn't even be focused on understanding other people. Because it starts within. Because once you know yourself, you can know other people. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. Once you know yourself, you can know other people. Once you work on yourself, then you can help other people. Helping other people before you help yourself is stupidity. And people often do it. Sometimes you're put in a position to do it. But if you're not in a position to do it, you shouldn't do it. If a dude walk up to you on the street and ask you for $5 because he's hungry and you only have $5 and you're hungry too, there's no reason to give him the $5. You didn't solve the problem. You didn't at all. Like, you helped him, yes, but you did yourself a disservice. And I'm not telling you to be selfish, but if you don't got it, it's got to make sense, right? If you got money to pay your rent, how can you go party, right? That don't make sense. But, so, gotta understand perspective and be aware. Be aware of what's going on, because awareness is key. Awareness is underrated. People don't have awareness. Because nowadays, all your awareness, all your attention, all your focus is placed upon what is trending or what is in the limelight or in the spotlight or the celebrities and all that. And when you focus on them, you can't focus on yourself. You can't divert your attention like that. You can't worry about everything somebody else is doing. Also worry about everything you're doing. It's got to be one focus. If you're doing two different things with both hands, it's harder to focus on what you're doing, right? But if you do both with both hands, if you do one thing with both hands, you know what's going on, right? If you try to pat your head, rub your head, and rub your stomach at the same time, that shit get confusing, right? That's what it's like when you try to focus on other people outside of you or external that aren't directly in your life. Let's say that aren't directly in your life. They're not your husband, your spouse, or anything. It's a waste of energy. So reclaim your energy because, you need that. I will hope you need that. If you're superhuman, just say that. Just comment, I'm superhuman in the comments or something. But that's how I view it. Let me see. This is still going? Yeah, this. Right back. That's how I view it. You gotta focus on yourself. You gotta bring your energy back in because y'all give away your energy and y'all don't know that. Y'all give it away. They don't even take it. Y'all give it to them. Y'all hand it to them. Hey, you're the best. Hey, you're my wall. Da, 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 da. I look up to you. You don't know why you look up to them. You look up to them just because they made a fucking good song. That don't make sense. You can make your own good song. You can do all this shit if you wanted to. If you want to do what they do, you can do it. It's not anything in life is achievable, but you place so much limitations on yourself and you limit your potential. That's what I'm saying. Y'all be limiting your potential by giving out your energy. The energy that you need, the energy that you were given, you give it out instead of using it for yourself. So focus on yourself because you're more important than other people. Unless they're somebody that's already really important in your life, like your your spouse, your mother, your father, your kids. They deserve your attention. But a random guy on the internet does not really deserve your attention, as in to praise them. I mean, if they're leading you a certain way, to think of a better way, or they're actually adding value to your life. Yes, that's what I was looking for. If they're actually adding value to your life, genuine value. Not just, I know, like, I've heard songs and I feel like they added value because I like the song, right? But it's kind of different. It's not really adding value in my life. I get in this car, I sing that little song, and it don't make me no money. I mean, some of them do because it can motivate you to get some money or motivate you to do your goals. So, I mean, that don't mean you gotta fucking praise them or worship them. You just gotta take what they're giving you and use it for yourself. You gotta acclimatize it and turn it into something good for yourself instead of just draining yourself by focusing on the external. You gotta focus on the internal. You know what I'm saying? Bring the power back in within you. Focus on yourself and focus on improvement and keep your mind strong. Be resilient. Always bounce back. You know what I'm saying? It's easier said than done, but you can do it because anybody can. It's not like some people can, some people can't. It's like some people want to. They just not gonna let nothing get them down. There's other people that's gonna focus on the bad. They're gonna dwell on the bad. Never dwell on the bad. The bad is a learning experience, and you take it. You understand why the bad was the bad, and you move on as quick as possible. Because the longer it stays in your mind, the longer you reflect on it, the longer you dwell on it, the worse your mental well-being is, and it hinders you and keeps you in a low vibrational state. So focus on the positive, and when bad things do happen or negatives happen, understand why. You take what you can learn from it and improve, because when you take what you learn from it, you now turn that negative thing positive because you learned something. So now it's not even negative no more. I mean, things happen, yeah, like it's life, things are gonna happen. But what can you do? One thing you can always do is shape your own perspective and your own reality, even based on the events, no matter how good or bad they were, per se. Good or bad, per se. But, yeah, don't let that shit get to you. Focus on your mental state. All right, man.